Hello everybody and welcome back to another Arma 3 video. This time, as you can see, it's about Spearhead 1944, and if you don't know what that is, that's the new creator DLC for Arma 3. Today, I'm going to go over the Steam page of the announcements that was put up yesterday, and I also made a video there. So, a lot of new key mechanics has been introduced to this creator DLC, and so we're going to go over it in this video. So to start off with, let's talk about the multiplayer campaign and the single player. Multiplayer campaign, so we're mounting up with the 2nd Armored Division for Operation Cobra with up to 24 players and experienced the legendary operation that changed the course of the war in Eastern Europe during the late July of 1944. So we're going to have 7 fully voiced immersive missions taking place across large swaths of Normandy. So we're going to basically get our own briefing before the mission actually starts, I'm guessing. I'd say the animated briefings and the fully voiced immersive missions, I think they're going to go hand in hand, describing the battlefield with that type of brief type of format is what I'm talking about. Plan your strategy with your friends by voting on multiple tactical choices in each mission. I said voting twice there because I'm surprised there. How's that going to work? What's going to happen there? I don't know. We can speculate. Talk about it in the comments there down below. See what you think this voting feature will entail and how it would be implemented, because that'd be an interesting one to do, because the amount of replayability, if they actually do it right, would be immense. Like, you could probably go down, instead of going down a road, let's go down this road or something like that, you know what I mean? And it could be very different. One road you can just go down, patrol down this road, or go down this road and you're rolling down the road, Blitzkrieg style, but as the Americans instead. Wide range of player roles to choose from, including tankers, engineers, flamethrower operators, medics, and much more. I'm going to guess they're going to concern it's a 24 player experience and co-op multiplayer campaign. I'm guessing they're going to go with a platoon elements type of thing, although 24 players is not a platoon, as you know. But I'm going to guess that's what they are going to strive to give a feel of. Now, for the single player, we're going to familiarize ourselves with the history and equipment of the US and German factions during Operation Cobra by exploring 2 new single player showcases, or take part in a daring assignment as part of the French resistance, either solo or with up to 4 friends, called Der Janarts, or I don't know. I think it's German. I do apologize for the butchering of your language, but it is a hard language to learn. For me, anyway, it's hard language. Any language is hard for me to learn. But yeah, I don't know what to say about the single. They don't give us as much detail as they have with the multiplayer campaign. But it'd be an interesting thing with the 4-player co-op there, playing as the French resistance. I don't know any other game besides that one Sabotage, I think, where you're playing as the French resistance. So that'll be interesting. Now let's move on to game modes. So obviously we have Zeus, so we can all create our own missions, and for all you World War II immersive milsim realistic communities out there, this would be great for you, especially if you're like 82nd Airborne or whatever. You can mod that mod into this, because guys, come on, you've been begging for this, I'm guessing. Come on, admit it, you've been begging for this. We'll have Combat Patrol Spearhead version with faction selection, more tasks, wide customization via mission parameters, and automatic support for World War II mods. So we're going to have actual compatibility and support with other mods, I'm guessing. So IFA 3, Faces of War maybe even, that I can think of. I don't know about Faces of War, but that's what I'm guessing will have compatibility with these mods. They're the only 2 mods that I can think of in the top of my head that's World War II. Escape Spearhead version with faction selection, a tougher experience, and automatic support for World War II mods again. Then we're going to do Warlords. Everyone is familiar with Warlords, I hope. Spearhead version with faction selection, more customization via mission parameters, and automatic support for World War II mods again. So not much to go on here. It's our basic game modes that we all should be familiar with from the past decade, really, of Arma 3. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Now let's talk about the gameplay enhancements, the one that I've actually wanted to really talk about. So we have a custom revive system, an enhanced version of Arma 3 revive system, providing full AI support with features such as dragging unconscious allies, stabilizing bleeding, and further customization options. So the AI will actually drag you to cover and tend to your wounds and get you back in the fight. To me, that's brilliant. We have a morale system which simulates the unit's morale that may make AI decide to retreat, drop their weapons, or surrender altogether. Prisoners of war, or POWs, can be questioned to receive information on potential enemy forces and their locations. This is a system I've never actually seen before, besides people going to zoos and make people cower and run away or take over. But this system I'm actually looking forward to. We could literally now simulate an actual rout of enemy forces without the interference of Zeus. So that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing in action, how that actually affects gameplay as well. Indirect fire support allows players and AI to call in battlefield support in various forms: mortars, heavy artillery, and close air support over the radio, or even direct fire from nearby tanks. I think the likes of the CAS and the artillery, I think we're familiar with this a little bit with SOG Priority Fire. I think that this one's a bit more expansive to include the direct fire of nearby tanks as well. Realistic vehicle damage simulates realistic deflection, armor penetration, spalling, and ammo rack cook-off with enhanced visual effects and the destruction of vehicle components. So basically, tanks go boom and it's going to look even better and it's going to sound even better, I'm guessing. Extended reload animations. Infantry weapons have multiple reload animations available to them, such as alternate reloads when reloading on a non-empty magazine or loading individual rounds to top up a bolt action rifle's fixed magazine. So this is good. So I'm guessing if you have a clip in a rifle that requires a clip, obviously, and you fire off 2 rounds, and instead of putting in a new clip, you just put in 2 new rounds in and do it that way, is what I'm guessing that they're going to have animations for that. Hip fire system and wall avoidance simulates the challenges of heavy or long weapons such as machine guns in close combat. Machine guns are typically held in a low position at the hip, but can be shouldered unsupported with an increasing penalty to aim over time. Longer weapons will raise or lower when colliding with objects or walls, promoting the use of shorter, more appropriate weapons in close combat fighting and discouraging run and gun with heavy weapons. So this is a good system to have. It'd be interesting to see. I hoping to see this being, how can I put it, implemented properly is the way I can think of, really, to where we won't have those run and gun moments, yes, but also the fact that they're referencing close combat, so actually using weapons that actually will need to be put into areas to where it makes sense and not be, I don't know, on a roof, for example, or something like that, unless it makes sense to have it on a roof. You know, you can get a crane for that if you want. Improved soundscape, immersive and realistic projectile sounds to enhance your gameplay with ricochet and hefty impact sounds. So basically sound effects of the rifles and being on the other end of being shot at has basically improved. So the ambience of war sounds module and complete your battle audio experience. This will be, I think this would be my nutting moment, because when I get into that and I hear that, yeah, I'd say I love that, and I'd say everyone would love that as well. Here, plane zoom overhead in full Doppler effect, taken from authentic real-world sounds. So they actually went and got the real sounds of it by just sitting there on an airfield while a P-47 or something like that flies over their head. That's interesting. New weapon attachment. I'm not saying they actually did that. I don't know how they did it. Don't quote me on that. New weapon attachments, bayonets and a variety of rifle grenades expand the arsenal of players, offering new options for anti-armor, illumination, concealment, as well as close and long-range engagements by swapping out attachments on their weapons. That'd be interesting. I wonder what attachments we'll get, like with bayonets and rifle grenades, and probably other attachments, you know, onto the rifles, maybe, and also the vehicles that we get as well. We'll also have flamethrowers, a fully working flamethrower, guys. You know, a flamethrower that'll hopefully not absolutely destroy and make your server work its absolute cores off. Like, I mean, If this works, oh god, Jesus, we're going to have a lot of flamethrower gremlins going around. Introducing a flamethrower as a weapon option brings a unique and powerful tool to players, allowing them to unleash devastating fire attacks and control the battlefield in a different way. I wonder the likes of other mods, like a Warhammer mod or anything, you know, that they'll be able to use this flamethrower for their mod. Obviously, you will need to have the creator DLC, but I'm guessing that the mod for the showcase, where you can use it and all, might be enough to make that mod viable for the more wider audience, I think. Or maybe not, I don't know. We'll see. We'll actually have to see. Towing and pushing anti-tank guns. Oh, now this is something that I've been looking for. It was an actual towing system, really, for AT guns, really. Players are able to tow or push anti-tank guns both with vehicles and by hand, enabling them to reposition heavy weaponry quickly and efficiently. There are the likes of other towing, like certain mods will have towing mechanics and that, but you know, they're limited. But I'm hoping that the fact that HAL has the resources and the fact that Bohemia Interactive, you know, is supporting them, I'm hoping to see a full towing system that actually works, and hopefully the anti-tank gun or whatever you're towing is following along. You can see it from the back without it being a bit weird and bouncy like certain other mods would make it. You know what I mean, guys? Moving on now to the more detail with the Normandy terrain, and also talking about the factions and the weapons and other uniforms and other equipment as well. So with Normandy, 150 kilometers squared terrain, as we know from the last video, this new unique terrain is a detailed representation of the actual terrain in Normandy at 1:2 scale where Operation Cobra took place. Normandy features numerous faithfully recreated real-world locations that were involved in the Overlord campaign, covering from Saint-Lô down to Roncy and Le Grand. Complete with labyrinthine hedgerows that Normandy and that part of France is well known for, and branching rivers, quiet farmsteads dug in positions, ancient orchards and countryside towns lying in ruins, featuring new custom-created era-specific and highly detailed buildings, rivers, environmental foliage and fortifications, bringing the World War II setting to life. Normandy promises intense close-quarter firefights and thrilling combined arms gameplay that will keep you coming back for more. I was about to say firefighters for a second instead of firefights. I caught myself out there, guys. Woo! Moving on to 5 new factions, civilians, 30 new weapons, explosives, uniforms, and other gear. Oh, mouthful. Anyway, Spearhead 1944 offers 30 new weapons with realistic sounds and detailed animations. New grenades and mines will have handcrafted effects. It also comes with more than 200 uniform variants. I'm guessing that's for all the factions that's combined. 60 plus of vest variants, 70 plus backpack variants, and 150 plus headgear variants alongside a bunch of accessories. I think that's across all 5 factions. The backpack variants and the head draw, I think we're getting those variants not per faction, but of all the factions combined. That's what I think that means, because I don't think there are 70 plus backpack variants of a German backpack, let's say. So continuing on, enter the fight with the US 2nd Armored Division using iconic weapons such as the M1 Garand, the M1A1 Thompson, and M2 Flamethrower that was already mentioned above, the Flamethrower, plus many others that were used on the front line. Make use of static weapons like the M150 7mm AT gun, the M1 81mm mortar, or the M45 quad mount. Storm trenches using a wide array of rifle grenades, thrown grenades, and explosives, including illumination, incendiary, and white phosphorus variants. So we're going to have white phosphorus, guys. Hopefully this won't tank our servers, you know. Surprise or disable German convoys or patrols using different AT and 8-burst mines or TNT charges. Defend German positions as the German Wehrmacht utilizing weapons like the famous MG42, the STG-44, and the Flammenwerfer 41. I probably butchered that, and to any German, yeah, by all means slag me in the comments for the bad pronunciations. Dig in with statics like the 10.5 centimeter, LEFH18. Don't know how to say that, don't know what that is. I think that's an AT gun, don't quote me on that. Flak 36, 38, and the Pak 40. I know the Pak 40 is an AT gun, right guys? I can't remember. Toss anti-tank grenades, concussion, and multiple different smoke grenades at the approaching allied forces, or fortify and mine your positions with German mines like the, I'm not going to pronounce it, 42 or the TMI 42 AT mine. Join the French Interior Forces and the French Liberation Army. Okay, so I think that's what I was talking about. We have French forces, and then there's two categories of forces for that faction. So we have the French Interior Forces and the French Liberation Army. That's what I was guessing. Possibly true, possibly not true. We may have like German forces and might go into like the Panzer Lehr division or the SS division, like those two units. I'm not saying that both of them were in Normandy or anything, but they might have been. I don't know. I don't know what was there. But anyway, that's diverging away from the main topic, which not only use the foreign weapons, grenades, and mines at their disposal, but also have their own unique weapons like the FMMLE 1924 M29, Fusel MLE, 208 12 gauge, and the Sten Mark II suppressed and unsuppressed. That's interesting. In the next image, we're going to go over vehicles, guys. Now we're on to the vehicle variations, which is 31 vehicle variants. So there's only United States and Germans. I don't think the French are going to get their own vehicles, because I don't think the French resistance had their own tank. But I know that the French forces that did help liberate their homeland, basically, did use American weapons and Shermans, I think, in history. So going for the United States, we have the M16 half-track, we have the M3 half-track, transport, ambulance, ammo, fuel, and repair variants. So that's basically the support logistics elements of the half-tracks. So that's all in one there. The M3A1 half-track, the M10 tank destroyer, the M18 Hellcat, the M4 Sherman with variants including the M4 and M4A1, M4A1 T-34 Calliope Sherman, M4A1 76W Sherman. I think the W stands for Woodland. The P-47D Thunderbolt with M8 rockets, 500 to 1,000 pound bombs with optional impact delays, and 100 pound Willie Pete bombs. So for anyone that loves flying, you're probably gonna have a lot of fun with this P-47D Thunderbolt, guys. You have a good bit there to play with. And to any other pilots, you might just want to just fly around. I don't know. I know that a lot of you just like playing freaking flight sim in Arma. Anyway, German vehicles now. We have the SDKFZ 250/1 half-track. I don't know what these stand for, so don't quote me. If you know, put it in the comments, please. SDKFZ 305 Blitz, which is basically the M3 half-track, but the German version, also has an anti-air version added on to it instead of just the normal fuel, repair, ambulance, ammo, and transport variant. It also has an anti-air, so yay! So if you're flying that P-47, be aware of the Blitz. The PZK PFW3 OS, JLM, and N. Mouthful. Then I think these are like the Panzers. Panzer 3, Panzer 4, Panzer 5, and then we have then the Nashorn, and then yeah, I'm just giving up now, guys, as you can tell. And then we have the FW190 F8 with 20 and 13mm machine guns, the SC50 bomb with optional impact delays as well, MC50 smoke bomb as well, so they don't have their own Willie Pete bomb. I don't think the Germans actually had any like Willie Pete type of weapons for their aircraft, or in general, I don't think. But that there is the full overview. So guys, that concludes me going over the Steam page with the new enhanced freaking mechanics they've introduced, like the revive system, where the AI actually helps you this time. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more information. And also for the future gameplay I will be doing of the campaign of this, because hopefully that'll be a good campaign, guys. I'll actually finish a campaign once on this channel. But anyway, thanks. See you next time.